the moment is underway.
Oh, the engine's gone.
Got him! Habsburg's got him! And camera hits the wall!
Formula One racing is a supercharged thrill trip that keeps us on the tip of our seats with each twist and turn on the circuit. But what actually raises the enthusiasm level? The scandals. They infuse an exhilarating dose of adrenaline, prompting spectators into a state of anticipation. And in today's episode, we're going to dive right into the juiciest scandals of Formula One racing. Imagine yourself on the edge of your seat, surrounded by the exhilarating atmosphere of the racecourse, as we look into some of the most notorious occurrences to ever upset the foundations of racing. Consider this: motors roaring, tires screeching, and the air heavy with anticipation. The controversies heighten the excitement, making each race a heart-pounding spectacle that is difficult to ignore. So buckle up, because in Formula One, it's not only about the speed, it's about the drama that feeds our love and keeps us coming back for more. Our journey begins with Spygate, an unforgettable tale of espionage and treachery set in the shadows of the 2007 season. It all began with murmurs of private information being passed from one powerful team to another. Ferrari, the defending champions, found themselves at the center of a controversy after their senior technician was banned amid claims of dirty play. What followed was a high-stakes inquiry that sparked a network of deception across competing teams. McLaren, the accused, faced serious repercussions, including a whopping $100 million punishment after being found with the cachet of Ferrari's jealously guarded secrets. But the drama did not end there. Crashgate, which occurred at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, shook Formula One just a year later. Picture this: Fernando Alonso, a two-time world champion, appears to defy the odds to win under the bright lights of the Marina Bay street circuit. However, behind the surface was a dark scheme devised by members of the Renault crew, a staged collision, a perfectly timed safety car deployment, and a clever pit stop, all meticulously planned to provide a fairy tale finale. However, once the reality came out, the sport was left reeling at the discovery of such obvious deception.
But is Formula One about to slip into one of its darkest moments?
Is it possible to crash an F1 car on purpose at a particular corner?
It is for sure, yeah.
Oh, big crash! That's Nelson Piquet.
It seemed Fernando Alonso's chances of winning the race were slim. On lap 12, Alonso pitted. Just 2 laps later, his teammate Nelson Piquet crashed into the wall. The safety car was deployed, suddenly transforming Alonso's strategy.
It seems to me Alonso's effectively going to be leading the Grand Prix, isn't he?
Fernando inherited the lead and was able to lap quickly in clear air at the front.
Fernando Alonso coming through to take the checkered flag and claim a very, very well-deserved victory.
He says he was asked to crash on purpose by engineering chief Pat Simmons and Flavio Briatore.
It's an irony, isn't it, that being backing 15th on the grid, forcing them to do an unusual strategy that worked perfectly when the safety car came out, because the other Renault hit the wall.
Now, Renault have denied all these allegations.
Let us not forget the epic story of water-cooled brakes that sent shockwaves around the paddock during the 1982 season. To outwit the competition, teams like Brabham and Williams used novel engineering solutions, such as the covert use of water tanks to modify the weight of their vehicles. What followed was a battle of wits between turbocharged and normally aspirated engines, ending in objections, disqualifications, and a divide that threatened to split the sport. Now let's discuss Tyrrell's bold adventures from the 1984 season. With Formula One spending skyrocketing, Tyrrell was having trouble keeping up with the opposition. Even though turbocharged engines were all the rage, Tyrrell persisted in using normally aspirated engines. However, they weren't going to allow a minor setback like a power deficit to stop them. Now for their brilliant scheme: running underweight. Tyrrell's 012 car was built to run lighter than the competition while yet avoiding legality. But Tyrrell was forced to become inventive when Weissr eliminated the loophole that allowed teams to replenish with water after the race. In the middle of the race, increase weight without compromising speed by using the water and lead shot combination. Not only that, but they also added aromatic compounds to the mixture to covertly increase engine performance. When they were exposed, their bold plan came tumbling down, costing them their driver's licenses and disqualification for the whole season. Let's go on to BAR's illicit activities from the 2005 season. BAR was on the verge of fame after their best ever performance, but things took a terrible turn when their hidden fuel tank was discovered. This auxiliary container hidden inside the automobile allowed them to operate underweight, and still comply with fuel standards. After the FIA raised concerns, BAR was banned for 2 races and the team's management underwent a significant change. Who could forget the high-tech antics of Benetton during the notorious 1994 season? After driver assistance was outlawed, Benetton found themselves in a sticky situation when their Option 13 launch control device was discovered. With just a few button pushes, this advanced software enabled drivers to perform lightning-fast starts, which is obviously against the regulations. Benetton's antics, however, did not end there. They were also discovered operating their fuel pump without a filter, which allowed them to cut vital seconds off their pit stops. Benetton's top driver Michael Schumacher was banned and disqualified, despite their efforts to avoid penalties. In the course of Formula One history, the chase of victory tends to mix fair play with foul play. Michael Schumacher, an exceptional individual in the sport who has won 91 races and 7 world titles, was not immune to controversy since he dared to break the rules in order to maintain his position at the top. Amidst a fierce title race in 1994, Schumacher and Damon Hill's encounter in Adelaide raised eyebrows. Despite the damage to his car, Schumacher was able to win the title in the end due to a disastrous attempt to block Hill with the title on the line. In 1997, Schumacher got himself into trouble once more, this time at Jerez with Jacques Villeneuve. Schumacher's calculated move sent both cars spiraling as Villeneuve tried to pass, which finally resulted in Schumacher's season-long disqualification. Schumacher's shenanigans, however, didn't stop there. In 2006, as he was battling Fernando Alonso for the championship, Schumacher used a sly maneuver to stop his opponent's qualifying run at Monaco. Schumacher claimed it was an error when he parked his vehicle at a crucial corner, but the steward saw through the play and put him to the back of the grid. Furthermore, controversy has been courted by more than just drivers. Ferrari's controversial team directives at the 2010 German Grand Prix sparked a flurry of controversy. Ferrari found themselves in serious water with the FIA after Felipe Massa was told to yield to teammate Fernando Alonso, rekindling the long-standing discussion about team orders in racing. However, Harry Schell's shortcut during Sebring qualifying in 1959 may have been one of the most daring instances of rule bending. Schell's dishonest maneuver, which involved using shortcuts to obtain a better grid position, infuriated his rivals and demonstrated the extent people will go to in order to obtain an edge. The pursuit of dominance frequently straddles a delicate line between fair play and sneaky tactics in the fast-paced world of Formula One, where every second may spell the difference between success and failure. The stories presented here provide vivid examples of this fragile equilibrium, as teams and drivers walk a tightrope between strategic maneuvering and sporting honesty. With the legendary driver Michael Schumacher at the center of many scandals involving intentional crashes and tactical interruptions, Formula One has seen directly the extent rivals would go to in order to make history. However, Schumacher's behavior is only a symptom of a larger issue, a persistent pursuit of achievement that occasionally errs on the side of moral ambiguity. The controversies surrounding Ferrari's team instructions at the 2010 German Grand Prix highlight the difficult nature of good sportsmanship in Formula One. Felipe Massa's order to surrender to teammate Fernando Alonso provoked a heated argument and increased interest into the significance of team dynamics in individual success. Similar to this, Harry Schell's daring shortcut during 1959's qualifying showcases the creativity and even dishonesty that define the chase of victory in racing. Nevertheless, despite the problems and scandals, Formula One continues to be a testing ground for creativity and brilliance, where limits are pushed. The sport mirrors larger social discussions about competitiveness, ethics, and the desire for greatness by addressing issues of justice, honesty, and the unwavering chase of win as it develops. One thing is certain in this constantly changing landscape: spectators worldwide will continue to be enthralled by Formula One's electric drama and unwavering devotion, which will inspire equal amounts of amazement, respect, and occasionally outrage. One question remains as we consider the fascinating tales of mystery and controversy that have shaped Formula One. What is the one major scandal that completely impacted your opinion of Formula One? Every controversy that has surrounded intentional crashes, calculated disruptions, or covert inventions has had a lasting impact on the history of the sport. We thus want you to consider the following as we walk the fine line between fair play and gamesmanship. Which Formula One controversy made you question your values of sportsmanship, honesty, and pursuing glory on the biggest racing platform in the world? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload our next video. Thanks for watching.